Hey everyone, it's Ryan, and it's Monday, and you're watching the Baby Beaver Bunch, and this week's topic is being young and questioning, like, your sexual orientation, etc. And I guess I'm just gonna go head on in this approach on what it's like, and my advice to you. I kind of know a lot about this, more than people probably should, because I've gone through a lot of stages in my life, a lot of horrible, traumatic stages in my life where I just was trying to figure out who I was. Above that, that was what I was really trying to figure out, where I fit in society. I liked girls, I knew that, I was attracted to them. I didn't really think much of it until 8th grade. I figured I'd grow out of it. I figured I was straight and just the right guy hadn't come around. I was still attracted to guys, so I didn't think it was a big deal. But I got my first girlfriend in 8th grade, and that was kind of a disaster. She rejected me and alienated me and basically told me I wasn't good enough for her. And so I started believing that I wasn't good enough in general. And that was really hard for me, because I was just coming out of the closet. I was like, no, I must be straight. This one girl is just an exception, right? And then, freshman year, I decided to only date girls, even though I was attracted to men, because I wanted to be a lesbian. That sounds really weird, but I really wanted to be a lesbian, because it made me feel masculine being with girls. And it was like the only people who even liked me were girls anyway, because I was so out there. And the only people who liked me were like also people who were out there who usually were like, oh yeah, I like everyone anyway. So freshman year I was bouncing between the notion of being pansexual and lesbian, because I was still attracted to guys, but it was only feminine gay guys, so I figured I must be lesbian. Sophomore year is when I realized that it's a lot bigger than that. I was trying to blame everything on my sexual orientation, but my feeling of not belonging wasn't rooting from my attraction to people. It was rooting from how I viewed myself personally, and who I was inside, and not who I liked outside. And that first questioning my gender, and finally like looking into that, researching a lot, it helped. And then I finally came out and said it, like, oh yeah, I'm not a lesbian because I still like dick. And I'm a dude, but I'm not a straight dude, because, you know, dick's great sometimes too. But I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. I guess what I'm saying is that you're gonna be confused a lot. You probably didn't get that from my story whatsoever, but life is confusing. And when you're young, it's especially confusing, because usually in middle school is when people start questioning themselves, questioning where they belong, just wanting to fit into society, because that's when puberty hits really hard, and it sucks. And you're just trying to find where you belong. You just want to find who you are as a person and where you fit in society. And putting a label on something, even though I don't really personally believe in labels, is an easy way to identify yourself, who you are, like, because you're becoming a little person. No offense, but you're becoming a little person, and you want to find where you fit in society, right? So you're going to be confused, but you have to realize that you need to give yourself time. And I know everyone says that, and I know it's so aggravating. You just want to be like, I am a person, I need to be heard, because what I'm saying is important, and if you don't listen to me, then I'm gonna go crazy. But honestly, you have so much time. Like, you don't realize it when you're 13 and you're like, oh golly, I think I like vagina. You don't realize how much time you have to figure that out. That's not the most important thing in your life, even though with all of the butterflies you're feeling everywhere and down there, it seems like it. But it's not. This gets redundant and trivial. You have time. Stop trying to force yourself onto things that you want to be, or that you feel like you should belong into, when there are more important things to focus on. I completely messed up my high school career. Like, I don't think I have ever gotten anything above a 2.5 average, and that sucks. And I regret that a lot. But it was really hard for me, because I was so confused about everything. It was just hard. I feel like this video is getting long, but I'll keep talking, because I feel like I have more to say. I don't know, just summary. You have time even though you feel like you don't, and you feel like it's the most important thing in your life to figure out who you are, and that is really important. But putting a label on things doesn't always fix things, in my opinion. Because I've experienced trying as hard as I can to put a label on how I felt, and it just got me screwed. I came out of the closet like 4 times. 4 different things. It's like, oh, I'm bisexual. No, I'm pansexual. No, I'm pretty sure I'm a lesbian. Wait, no, I'm trans. I'm a trans guy and I like dick sometimes too. It's like, who you are, you have a long time to distinguish who you are. I still don't know who I am as a person and who I'm gonna be as an adult. But finding the exact word and placing it may feel alleviating and may feel like it makes sense, but it doesn't always make sense, and sometimes it screws you over more than it helps you. Like, you don't have to have everything figured out when you're so young. Just go with the flow, is what I'm saying, and I'm a very going with the flow kind of person, but sometimes that's just good to do. Sometimes you feel something for someone, and that doesn't always mean that you as a person have changed. Like, for instance, if someone is a lesbian, they might have a crush on a guy once, maybe, feelings for him. That doesn't make them a different person. That shouldn't make them feel guilty. They have a heart and they have feelings, they have hormones. All of these things are taking into account what's going on in their attraction, what's going on in their head, just what's going on in general. And you don't have to find the specific thing that you fit into to be settled in who you are. I don't know, I'm talking myself into circles. Just know that life doesn't end once you put a label on things, and life doesn't always get better once you put a label on things, and you have a lot of time, and I know it. You're freaking out at a young age because you feel like you have to have everything figured out, but you really don't. I've had so many relationships that are usually months long. Like, I've never had a short-term relationship, and I'm still, I always during my relationship, someone was like, I'm gonna marry this person. I don't marry them, usually. I mean, I've never gotten married legally. So, those things are things that you should tackle when you're older, and don't trap yourself into a label, because honestly, coming out for the 4th time starts getting people to think that you're just a boy crying wolf, and I feel like that's the reason why it's taken so many people so long to actually accept who I am as a person, because I came out so many times saying so many different things, because I just was so confused and just wanted to find where I belonged, like Hercules. Anyways, I'm gonna end this because it's probably like 8 minutes long. I hope this helped. Oh, next week is Truth or Dare week, by the way. So, just letting you guys know to look forward to that. Bye, everyone.